Okay. We're back.
And we back.
Oh man.
Dead chicken.
Dead chicken.
Oh man. You
Not
gotta watch out for
speaking about
dragons,
her, though.
honestly.
Chickens. Dead Harintha.
In this case, no.
In this case, no.
No respect, no reverence for the dead.
We're only talking about how
I
Waffles
mean, we
has
revere them.
absolutely
We just need them.
no respect for animal companions. He will
No.
murder
Harintha
everything
cooking-
that you love.
Yeah, there's no sprinkle
New
in this
Tarant-
campaign.
This is why I
There's
was so careful with Toph while Toph was still in existence. And then Toph still got eaten by the red wave, so that sucked.
Yeah, what
Luckily,
happened
Toph
with
could
the other
reincarnate.
animal companion?
The thing that we've learned in these
Oh,
campaigns
right.
with these animal companions is, okay, my animal companion runs, grabs the other animal companion, and burrows and hides while we fight.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
yeah.
That's how
it-
you survive.
This badger hides from the enormous dinosaurs by burrowing in the ground. Bye!
Yeah.
Well,
Useless.
sometimes Harintha would be in like a backpack, but that's also how Harintha died. A horrible death.
That's
true.
Renthal in
Chain-
the backpack was my favorite thing.
Chain lightning hurt.
I love the owl pair papoose. The the carrying
it was
case.
Yeah.
It was the tree
It wasn't
exploding that did Harintha in. The lightning bolt would have killed Harintha, but the Leon dodged
She
it.
was already dead.
Mhm.
All right, let's get started.
No. 'cause
First,
then you're gonna blow
Before
up the
we
ship.
actually, well, you guys get to do fun stuff before I blow up the ship. I
thanks.
want
Such
to
as-
go through everyone and say, because y'all leveled up to level 2, so I want to give a quick rundown of what you guys gained. We'll start with Sir.
Okay. So the lovely and effervescent Zehavumti, who does no harm and is not suspicious in the slightly, she got a new spell, which is very exciting. I did not get new spell slots, but I know an additional spell, and I chose Supercharge Weapon. So we're gonna have some fun with that for all of y'all. Figured she maybe might start working with you guys a little bit more. I think, and I think I also got
that spell.
another cantrip as well, which is Transfer Charge, which might be just more utilitarian and like minimal, but still useful, which is, I think she, in my headcanon, she like picked this up after the drama of like finding power sources for this AI. But so she can transfer any number of charges from a battery to another. Not as useful for ammo, but when you have like a weapon that has carries 2 charges, like it has to be fired with 2 charges, and you have that like one awkward one left or something like that, it's pretty useful. So we should find some use for that. And then my overall stats went up, and that's really basically it. I kind of split my skills around and got even better at what I do.
All right, Mo.
Also, similarly concerned with the prospect of powering things that may need power. Moat is getting the mechanic trick Portable Power, which will allow them to provide a bit of juice for a short period of time to larger systems, so computers and Starship systems. There are things
That's sick.
that Moat would be able to help do, so it'll be more efficient at providing power for any sort of situation like we just ran into.
We're the most powered
Useful for an
AI.
engineer.
Yeah, it'd be very useful for an engineer. So, like, I think it has some things to it where it can be used to, like, aid in potential, like, patch jobs and stuff like that on starships during combat. I don't remember, or maybe that's a later part of it.
Ooh la la.
Okay.
But
Can you plug in eyes into the computer? Or the
who
starship?
knows? Who knows?
Give us a boost.
Okay, maybe it doesn't have the effect I was talking about, so I thought of something else there. Oh no, that's a different feat that I'm thinking about later.
Okay. Is that the main thing?
Yeah, that's the main thing. Wasp went up, got some more HP. Doesn't get anything extra at this point, but it'll be there.
Cool.
I think with the level up and with time that we have, Moat would spend it rebuilding the system and giving upgrades to Wasp, and then other than that, ability checks went up, and looking forward to new things.
All right. Tetsu.
Tetsu got thicker, beefier, more Tetsui.
He ate a bunch.
Also, yeah. He ate his feelings after Len took away all of his ability to do cool things
And Zeha shot him.
Zeha shot him.
Remind him.
I was so
I didn't forget that. Don't you worry.
The funny thing is
he
that
also
I didn't shoot you.
That's not how I remember it. But I did, for Zeha's sake, I did take mitigate. Not take, I get it as part of my class feature, which helps me reduce the damage she shoots into my spine when I'm vulnerable and trusting.
Yeah.
And I also took the intervene, or I get the intervene discipline as one of my options, and I took that. So basically, with my ability as a bodyguard, not only can I use my reaction to help protect whoever I'm trying to protect, I can also step in and just step into the blast that is being shot their way and take the hit for them. So
no ranged only or
anytime?
Ranged only or ranged and melee?
I think it's just any. I have to be adjacent to them though. I take half the attack damage. That's it. It just says attack.
Interesting.
So it's yeah.
That sounds busted.
All right.
But that's
Meat
not
shield ability.
Yeah, a meat shield ability for someone who wants to take damage.
Yes.
Dr. Lin.
When they take damage.
How about you, Dr. Lin?
first.
So we've been into one combat encounter already, and people are always telling me, Dr. Len, heal me, and I'm like, I'm a doctor, I can't, give you health back. So that's why I decided to get the ability that lets me give health back.
How very generous.
You're welcome, you can stop complaining. But it's called field dressing, and it every once in a while it lets me just give them back a sliver, 4 health. Pretty much once per short rest. I can do that 4 times a long rest.
That's huge.
That's pretty big because health is slow.
Yeah,
that's right.
I want to interrupt.
Thank yous.
I want to interrupt. So can you do it a certain amount of times, or I know there's some abilities for Envoy and stuff that everybody can benefit from once, if that makes sense. So can you only do it a certain amount of times, or?
It's both, but they can only benefit from it once, and then they have to take spend a resolve point and take a 10-minute rest before they can benefit from it again. But again, I can only do it 4 times per long rest, so
okay,
they can't spam it.
That's pretty good for HP though. It's pretty good for HP since HP doesn't really. You don't really get HP in Starfinder, so.
Yeah,
that's the craziest thing about starting this that I realized is you don't get your health back.
Remind me to never
other
get
than
hit.
that, I just good thinking.
I actually think Starfinder so far is the best game I've seen that represents light wounds and heavy wounds. Light wounds are your stamina, and then heavy wounds is supposed to be your HP. So that's why you don't gain HP back as quickly, because it takes more than just one day to rest and get rid of a really deep cut.
Right.
I like that a lot too.
Except Tetsu.
But other
Tetsu
than that, I
doesn't
just
like
boosted
this.
piloting to shoot the gun.
Okay.
So that I can be a true gunner.
A true gunner with 6 legs.
But the activity to shoot in starship combat, that's a piloting check, or that's just your regular attack?
It can be either.
It can be the regular attack, or it can be a piloting check.
Interesting.
And since my regular attack kind of sucks because I'm a doctor, I decided to just start boosting piloting.
Perfect.
Hype. Eisen.
Mine is actually surprisingly simple, being the melee combatant. Basically, playing the fighter, I only get a bonus feat and some skills. The bonus feat that I took this level is weapon focused, advanced. For no particular reason, no one should look at the advanced weapon category and what's in that at all. For what I'm aiming towards.
Lightning katana.
And then in terms of feat,
Yep.
I'm just gonna, don't look at the dimensional curve blade and how it does, 16d10 of damage with bleed, critical, Don't worry about that. You know, GM, it's fine. Don't worry,
No need
nothing's
for
gonna go
concern
wrong.
here.
OP.
And other than that, my main skill that I picked up was the bodyguard profession, so that I can do more bodyguard stuff. Otherwise, I just kind of spread my skills around a little bit. I put like 1 in sense motive, so it's a 0 now. I put 1 in stealth, so it's a 1. Look, I have 1 focus. It's not skills.
No, that's fair.
1 in sense motive.
I mean,
so
when
it's a
I've
0.
noticed that's pretty like split. When you are a fighting class, like that is 100% your focus, and then mine, like I'm not a fighting class, and I got like a shit ton more of skills. So it's very polar, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. They give you a reason to like not be pure fighting classes in Starfinder, which I like. So
What's
you don't have
interesting
6
about
soldiers
my
running
particular
around.
fighting class is they're so focused on fighting and they get so many free feats that they expect you in some places to multi-class. So it will be interesting to see how that goes.
Okay.
For sure. Okay, well, let's get. Now that we know all that, we know what everyone gets at level 2. We can get to killing all of them so they don't actually get this.
No.
But
No.
we'll pick up where we left off. All of you hear Grace tell you that there is something approaching quickly from the rear, and you hear this whoop whoop, which you guys thought was like the police, but I said it was more along the lines of your ship's alarm, like letting you know that something is approaching and possibly locking onto you.
I'm going to immediately tell Grace to what was the term that she used? She said that she could boost our systems, I think, or just operate them at a higher capacity.
Yes, and from Moat's run down to engineering, she already kind of is, but you can tell her what you want.
Okay. No, then I'll let her know. It's like, Grace, make sure all the systems are running at full capacity. Everyone, positions. And then she's gonna. Oh, is that the proximity alarm?
That's actually a hailing signal that comes through. So you, up at the captain's desk, you hear this hailing signal come through. The ship is attempting to make contact with you. You can decide to open or not open the line.
While this is happening, can I rebalance shields towards the target?
Sure.
I will run up to my captain's chair and try to shove the Shimmerine out of frame.
Good luck with that. I'm taking up at least like half of it based off of how we're sitting.
Ow!
This is my spot. No, I will collect myself, and then I will look at everybody, like let them know that I'm about to, and I will intercept the signal.
Okay. You intercept the signal and you watch like the screen in front of you just kind of blinks on, and you see the orcish lady that you met at the Silver Drake, and she's like, "You still have the AI?"
No, we don't. I thought we went. Where are you? Are you following us?
Yes, I was gonna follow you and make sure that it was safe wherever you're going.
Oh no. And I just kind of like have this like realization dawn on my face. When we ran out to try to capture them, we were intercepted. We were told to leave the box there at the Dreamers Lodge.
Who told you?
There was a person. I believe they were and this is me forgetting the name of the race. Hold on.
Farron?
An android? The woman we saved?
Contemplative?
No, android. Let's go. Yeah, well, I'll say android. There was an android that said that she worked for you. The place was a mess. I thought you targeted it.
The building was in ruins.
You just handed it over.
It needed a power source. That's what the Farron, your boss, that's what he said. We couldn't get there in time. There was no power source. If we hadn't handed it over, it would die.
Alright. I'm gonna keep following you for now. Hold on. And she cuts off the hailing signal.
Getting put on hold.
I'm like sweating.
You did fine.
I am going to immediately tell Dr. Len and Tetsu to stay out of frame and out of voice, whatever you do. And you, Moat, I call down to like the engineering.
Wow, rude.
Actually, that's a good. We should establish this now. What kind of like communication technology are we talking about here? Are we talking like Star Trek? Can we do like audio only? Like, what's the level of?
Are you referring to within
There's
each
a
other?
blast door between us.
No. Are you talking about like how we communicate ourselves from the different parts of the ship?
No, from like ship to ship, just so that like we can't have like someone accidentally walk across the back of screen and be like, "Oops!" Like I want to just avoid like the "oops" scenario.
Has anyone seen my clothes? Oh, okay.
How I'm considering it is kind of like modern day Bluetooth. Kind of. The closer you are, you can have like this person's quite close to you at this point. Being quite close in space, being they're probably about 5 hexes away from you, just following at your speed. The closer you are, you can have video signal. Further out, you can have audio, and then you can have nothing. Basically, there's a range kind of thing. That's how I'm considering it. Close range, you can have video. Medium range, you can have audio, and then elsewhere, you can have nothing. You can like hail somebody, like basically beeper them, like let them know you're coming, but that's it.
Can I scan the ship? Or command somebody to scan the ship?
You can if you want. Give me a computer's check real quick before you scan.
Do I know that this would like ping them that they're being scanned, kind of like ours?
You can give me a computer's check as well.
Well, Varso stole all the luck, so Tetsu is currently fiddling with the shield still because I rolled a natural 1.
Oh my god. I rolled a
Setting
14.
the tone for the night.
Okay. 14, I will say most ships would be pinged by this. You're obviously not sure if her ship would, but you do know from your time kind of as a diplomat and stuff that you've been scanned before prior to docking, and your ship has let you know that you're being scanned.
Okay. Can I send a message back to the ship without it, like, I don't need to do the whole video thing. Can I just, like, send a simple message back?
Yeah, you can open up a audio frequency or send a message either way, really.
All right, I'm going to respond and say, I don't know what purpose would serve for following you. We are no longer involved with this. We are going to return and finish the mission with the person we're supposed to protect. So we're getting it all back. Our business with you is done. That's it. And then I'm going to like close that message, and then immediately to everybody I'm just gonna say, just in case, please prepare for combat. And
you hear another hailing signal come through immediately.
Just scan them, Tetsu, and I'll answer.
All right.
Okay. I go up to the gunnery.
Aizen sighs as he gets ready for what's gonna happen.
I leave my hat on the bottom floor, like on a table or something.
Because that's why you're no longer a doctor, when you're not wearing the hat. Your oath is just the hat. Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's symbolic.
Give me that scan, Tetsu.
Yeah, I'm using the +1 from the computer for this round, and I rolled a natural 4, so it's an 11.
Well,
which should be fine.
When you say that you're using the +1 for this round, can we talk a little bit about what round we're in? This is kind of, we're not yet in exactly Starship combat, but I do want to mention how this goes.
I mean, yeah, computers give you...
We'll mention it more when we get into heavy combat, but right now this would be a science officer action. Anything that has to do with computers is a science officer action. One of the actions under science officer is scan. The DCs in Starfinder, we'll probably mention them the first time and then try to speed through them because they're quite convoluted. But the DC for a scan is 5. plus 1.5 times the target starship's tier, plus their defensive countermeasures.
And then also
so
a
hopefully
scan.
11's okay.
All it will what information does a scan typically reveal if successful?
For every 5 by which you exceed the check, you learn another piece of information. So if you succeed, you get basic information. If you succeed by 5, you get defenses. If you succeed by 10, you get defenses and weapons. If you succeed by 15, you get defenses, weapons, and loads. Basically, how many expansion bays and how much cargo they might be carrying. And then if you just succeed by 20, I get to give you any kind of special information I want.
Okay. Prior to being hailed, I will say, Grace, I don't know what they can do, but if they can try to identify your presence, try to hide it. And then I will answer the call, I guess.
Okay.
Waffles.
As Tetsu lets a scan go out, Tetsu, you don't get anything.
No, wow, that is a high tier chip.
Holy crap.
Runaway time.
Question.
And
Are they
I will say
behind us or ahead of us?
behind you, and I will say, as much as you know, like computers, it's either a high tiered chip or they have just high defensive countermeasures installed.
True.
Mm-hmm.
What can we do defensive countermeasures? Like, what is that? What are defensive countermeasures?
You have them. They're on your starship sheet, but it's like a Mark
They're passive.
II. Yeah.
Okay.
But you open the frequency and you see her face pop back up, and she goes, "Who are you working for?"
Ninal. The woman, I'm her assistant.
She's with you.
Yes. She's in her
She's
quarters.
freshening up currently.
Who's she working for? Mel wants to know.
She is were we told this? Like, I'm trying to remember. Like, she is a diplomat for what?
You actually were never told, but she is basically like a private contracted diplomat the Starfinder was sending in. Like, the Starfinder Society doesn't want to send their people in to this place, like, to be seen dealing with the Aspis Consortium. So they hired Ninal as a private person, which is also why you guys are kind of private people, not with the Starfinder Society.
But the ones that
Right.
were implementing these taxes was the Starfinder Society?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not. It's
Yes.
okay. So it is like obvious who they were working with. Yeah. So then I would answer. I would say, well, we're a private contractor, but we were hired in this case regarding the Starfinder Society taxes. You know this. He knows this.
Can I add something? We were meant to drop her off at the lodge, but then the lodge was destroyed, so we're just meant to take her home, I suppose.
You said the lodge was destroyed on Leovar?
Yes, we thought you did that or something, and so we handed off the AI box thing because it was running out of power. And now we're going back. Why are you following us?
Why thought you had the AI? Look, we wouldn't destroy the lodge. We'll be in contact with the Starfinder Society, and we'll let them know that. Hopefully, you handed off the AI to someone good, and the Starfinder Society has it, and no one just stole it and ran away.
Why did you suspect Ninal?
They cut off the hailing signal. They cut off the video.
I do want to clarify though, like, I know we're flavoring this ship that he's sitting next to me, but like, is it like they're looking at my face, or are they looking at like the whole space behind me with eyes in like what all do they see?
I mean, if we're on the ship, right?
Yes.
I brought you out of the ship?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you look at the ship, you and Eisen are basically sitting side by side. They should only be able to see you, but they could definitely hear Eisen. It's like speakerphone. So if he spoke up, and like if he leaned sideways, he could be in the camera view.
Right.
Okay. I will, once they hang up, I will turn to Eisen and I'll be like, I was handling it.
I was just trying to help. But
All right.
I will give you a look without while I say I was just trying to help. I will give you a look of like something seems fishy, and then I'll like tip like my head back to where the rooms are, of like something doesn't seem right without saying a word. I'm just like
Yes.
giving you the eye of like something is weird here.
Grace.
And hold on, real quick interruption, and I will say that anyone that can see it, kind of gunnery station and computers, like just watching the little radar blip, you do see the ship pull off and turn around, and it basically gets out of your range.
I let out a huge
She
breath.
has left.
Did you find anything about
yeah.
their defenses, Tetsu?
They are very good.
Excellent. Well, at least they're off our tail. Somebody go check on Nanal, please. I nod to Aizen.
I shall do it. And Tetsu
Wasp
will go
rides
back.
on Tetsu's back.
Good idea.
Len comes down from the gunnery thing, just kind of looks around as he's ascending the ladder. Is it all clear?
Grace, is it all clear?
Yes, it seems they have pulled off.
Do you identify
Oh, that's a relief.
anything from Nanal's quarters? And I'll specify which room, I'm sure there's a name for it. The back left room, or the back, I don't know, front right room.
The master bedroom.
Yeah.
For sure.
The awesome room.
She is still within her quarters.
Did a comms go out?
Yes, she requested to hail the Lore Spire complex on Absalom Station.
Do I know what the heck that is?
Yes, you would know the Lore Spire complex is the Starfinder's main society hold kind of thing. That is where the main hub of the Starfinder Society is. And actually, I'll say everyone else can give me is there a society check in Starfinder? I'm still getting used to these
I
checks.
think there's culture.
Yeah, culture would be probably the check.
The culture's about races and stuff. I'm trying to think
True.
what would be about learning about specific places in the Starfinder Society.
It would be probably
there's not a
some
history.
culture or a
Yeah,
I
lore.
think culture.
Okay, so anyone can give me a culture check as you guys hear that go out.
I don't hear it because I'm knocking on Nanal's door.
That's
16.
a 20.
Because I got told to
10.
go check.
18.
For sure. Okay. 20 and 18, I will give you one extra piece of information about the Lore Spire complex. You two, Moat and Zeha, you two know that the Lore Spire complex is also what houses the... I forget the exact name of it, I'll get it for you later, but basically there's this conglomerate of the minds of past leaders of the Starfinder Society. All of their consciousness is put together in this one very large technological orb kind of thing, and that's held on Lore Spire Complex as well.
Ah, punny name. I get it.
Okay.
I don't.
Meanwhile, I just take a deep breath and I lose my posture for just a moment as I lean back into the chair. Good job, Grace. Good job, everybody.
Moat
We
pops
should
up
do
from the... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say we should do evasive maneuvers, try to break line of sight, just in case they decide to double back.
Can they track us? Grace, can they track
Probably.
us?
I don't imagine they can unless they can track me. I was under their ownership, though I don't know if they can track where I am.
Oh, that reminds me. We had some unfinished analysis to do on her systems. Let's wait for an update on Nanal and then perhaps continue. But yes, Aizen, if you don't mind to just in case, let's not be where they expect us to be.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Cap.
For sure.
So,
Yeah.
I'm a little confused. I thought they were with, the consortium. Why do they want the thing to go to the Starfinder Society? I thought they wanted to keep it. I'm confused.
Oh, I don't think they want it to be at the Starfinder Society at all. They want it. It is theirs. They hope and assume that we handed it off unknowingly to someone of the Starfinder Society. So they're just hopeful, I believe.
Oh, so so they just don't want somebody to, misuse it, such as, I don't know, taking all the information from a database in a Starfinder Society building and then fucking off to a moon.
Who would possibly do that?
Yeah, weird.
Exactly,
right?
Moat. Yes.
Indeed.
Anyway, I'm gonna go.
Wouldn't want to end it up in the wrong hands.
Yes, I'm glad to see you reunited. You seem to be already in a better mood. I look pointedly at you.
Sliding down the stairs, they just give a raised eyebrow on the mask. It flickers out a little bit.
Oh.
Slides down. And you can hear tinkering for a little while.
You can charge it here, can't you? On the deck? Like, you could just plug it in?
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, spaceship should have, like, while they're running, they should have a, ability to charge stuff. Like, you guys can charge all your guns up, etc.
Yeah.
Plug it in, plug it in.
It would be humorous if they're all the wrong plug types.
I forgot to get a converter.
Yeah. Tetsu's just going to go to the door and bang, bang, bang. Solidly. Not menacingly, but see if she's in there, awake. Knows what's
Say hi.
No, it is Tetsu.
Okay,
Please
1 second.
Open the door. Okay.
You wait a second, and then she comes and opens the door in different clothes.
Are you well?
I am. What do you want?
I was checking on you because we had a run-in with that orc woman that you all were with at the Silver Drake. They are looking for the AI that is on the ship.
Did you tell him we had it?
No, Zeha told them that it was given to somebody at the Dreamer's Lodge, and that she lied.
You see her kind of think for a second. Okay, that should buy a little time. Is that it?
What else is going on before we do the thing you want and not return you to where you're safe?
Well, I mean,
We do not have another mistake.
I don't want to go to the moon. If you're wondering if there's anything else I'm in, not really. I'm trying to turn this AI over to the Starfinder Society. That was my job.
You told Nanal and Zeha and the others that you wanted to go to the moon about that distress signal, and they all chose to not return you back because you wanted to go.
Nope.
Because you said we might not go. Yes?
No. No. Retcon. She said that she didn't care whether you guys went to the moon or not, that it was that you had protected her up until now, and she wouldn't mind going there because she imagines there's good information there.
Right. Tetsu considers that her, trying to get us to go there, being like, I don't know if you're going to get in the Starfinder. Yeah,
but
so
additionally,
that's how he took it.
Just to add context, though, we didn't say we were going towards the moon for sure. We set course there, and then she was going to check with the Starfinder Society, and then she's supposed to let us know what the heck. So we're waiting on her to tell us what she said to the Starfinder Society.
She sabotaged the mission and is risking all of our lives. That is what is going on.
She's a rat.
As far as Tetsu knows, this is what's happening.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
so if you're wondering if anything else is going on, no. You can go tell your captain that.
You have no more secrets that will get me shot when I'm trying to protect you and keep you safe, even though
I have plenty of secrets, but I don't think any of them have got you shot yet.
Tetsu looks down at the wounds.
That is decidedly not true.
He looks down at the wounds that are across his body and says, "Is our contract complete, or am I still your bodyguard?"
You're my bodyguard until I am on Absalom Station.
Then you are not allowed off the ship without my say-so going forward, if you are considering this me not getting hurt. Thank you. And Tetsu's going to walk away.
Oh, shit.
Okay. You see her like speed walk past you.
That's fine.
And she
follows
goes.
after.
She's yelling down the hallway. She's like, Zeha!
Yes?
Ma'am!
Please refrain your crew from telling me what to do.
I
Wasp
blink.
crawled into the room and hides under the bed.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me speak to your
It's
manager.
probing time.
Okay, Karen. I do blink a little surprised and turn to Tetsu and I say, I'm a little confused. What just happened?
She's confined to the ship.
I am not. But he thinks so.
Yes, so I see. Let's put a quick pin in this. You reported to the Starfinder Society. What did you tell them?
I told them that we received report of a probable contemplative on the moon close to Leovara that has recently come into trouble, and that I am safe, and that we are en route with the AI, yet we are closer to the moon than likely anyone.
And did they respond?
Yes, they said, make whatever decision you wish, but it would be vastly helpful if we could find out what happened to the contemplative.
Okay. Tetsu, nobody likes being told what to do.
I do not like being shot, also.
Nobody
a
likes
point.
being shot, I say to Nanal.
I didn't pull any triggers.
We
Are
are
we all-
bodyguards. You did not tell us the risks.
Bullets fucking hurt.
I got shot.
I just started.
You're a
test report.
bodyguard. You know the risk. You were literally
Risk.
hired to protect me. I'm not going to hire you to protect me from oxygen.
You are. I know the risks of oxygen. I studied that chemical. I did not know the risks.
You didn't study guns.
I literally am sitting there in the captain's chair, rubbing my temples. Is this what being a captain is?
If you glance over to Eisen, he's super trying to like keep his back straight so that like no one can tell, but he has this big smirk on his face that's just like he's so happy that you're in the middle of this. You can just feel it radiating
You're happy
off
that
him.
I'm in the middle of this?
That you're the captain in this moment? Yes. He is absolutely.
I give you this side glance,
wrecked,
like,
honestly.
amused, are you?
Amused,
all right.
are you?
Children, because that's clearly the argument that's happening here, can we just calm for a moment? We can discuss everything. Tetsu, I am sure nobody wanted you to be shot. I am sure nobody here wants to be shot on the regular. We did know this was going to be risky. I apologize that you got hurt in the process. However,
It is not about being shot. It's about not being told important information about the job that would have helped protect her and the rest of us. We cannot protect her if she is going to have jobs that we are not aware of.
I
have
did
no
not
problem.
ask you to come into the back room with me. Let me get kidnapped. That was part of the me and Zeha were back there. There was a plan.
No. You can understand that all of us are a little bit salty that we didn't know all of the information. Yes, that's a term in the future, guys. It's total.
She cocks her head. Salty? No, I'm just kidding.
That's an old person term.
I know that's a really old
No one says that
Galarian term. We are all a little on edge, given that we feel that we did not receive the full truth that potentially could have assisted our decision making. Now, would it have stopped someone from getting shot? Tetsu, not necessarily. Did we have a plan? Yes. Nobody intended to harm another. Nanal, we do need open and clear communication between all of us for this to work. The more information we know, the better decision making we can do, and we're not able to clearly communicate between each other. That being said, it is in the past, and Nanal has no further information on the moon that she could possibly hide from us. So, let's put it in the past, and let's decide what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Oh. And then she begins to walk back to her room.
And speaking of all this...
Wait.
Yes.
What was the thing? Did somebody... when you talked with her with Tetsu, what did she say? She said they told them... that it would buy a little time. So before she walks away, I'm like, Nanal, are you aware of the altercation that just occurred? Did Tetsu inform you?
The bodyguard that was after us?
Yes.
Yeah, it sounded like she's currently not on her trail and will be contacting the Starfinder Society. Based on the fact I told them we have the AI, I trust them to throw them off the trail.
Okay, good. That is exactly what I wanted to hear. If we're going to the moon, we need to make sure that they can't track us or the AI. Do you have any knowledge about this box that could assist us? Do you know if it could be tracked?
Give me a persuasion/diplomacy, whatever that is in Starfinder. I'm still learning these stupid skills.
I'm trying to remember if I can do culture for that. Hold on.
I wish my sense motive wasn't 0.
Okay, what did you
I'm with you too, buddy. I'm with you too.
Diplomacy.
Can I do sense motive instead?
No. Why?
Because it's one better.
Can I read her mind?
Anyone can aid that wishes to that has been in this room during this entire conversation.
I would like to attempt to aid.
Tetsu would probably do the opposite of aiding at this point.
Can I?
I'm actually going to say Eisen. Sorry, I'm actually going to say Eisen and Moat cannot aid because they haven't spoken up during the convo.
I did. I just.
I mean, a little.
Are you going to?
Can I do intimidate, not to like threaten her, but like just kind of how imposing Tetsu was throughout the convo? More of a guilt her into it.
Yeah.
He's all pissy and hurt.
Please.
Okay?
Right, I don't know why I'm rolling anymore, so it doesn't matter. I rolled a natural 2, so it's 8.
Wow, that's one better than last time, bud.
You'll get up there,
No,
buddy.
last time was a 4.
Oh,
yeah.
It's half as bad as last time. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a diplomacy, Zaya.
Another one? I gave you a 12.
She did.
Oh, no.
Yeah, 12.
Oh, sorry. I didn't see it.
Is Eisen, were you going to help as well?
I was going to try, but I don't know. I had something I was going to say here.
Okay, if you have something you're going to say, feel free to speak up now.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, I really don't particularly care what missions you do or don't tell us about as long as I'm paid for the ones I'm hired for. But if you do know anything about this box, I really would rather not be blown up. I assume that they gave you some sort of method of transporting this thing if need be, or some sort of knowledge. But if we get caught unawares, I can't necessarily help if we get blown out of the sky. So helping us now with whatever you have would be advisable.
It'll put all our
like
bygones
I'm
in the
actively
past.
saying like her life is at risk if she doesn't act.
Okay. Give me whatever kind of charisma check you want minus deception. So diplomacy or intimidation.
A natural 1.
Oh.
Nice.
I do have a hero point.
Wonderful.
I do have a hero point.
Excuse
Is
me.
it worth
I
using
think
it?
you mean a owlbear
sorry.
nug.
Yes, I do have a nuggy. A chicken.
All about the nuggy.
A chicken wing, if you will, of Herenthal. An arm.
This isn't funny.
Hair nuggies.
It's pretty funny, honestly.
Should I use? You know what? I don't need a hero point. Let's use it. I'm gonna re-roll that.
And just as a reminder, because I'm realizing that we haven't mentioned it as so far in the actual session so far. And you rolled a 6.
Yeah.
One time.
I tried. It wasn't that. I'm trying to pilot, and it wasn't that effective as I talk over my shoulder.
Yeah.
It's
So I wanted just
You
to
get
add,
what you
because we
deserve.
haven't mentioned it yet, that we have rebranded our rolling with advantage, so to speak, since we don't have hero points in the Starfinder system. We have decided to brand it after our prior campaign of Time Has Passed, and they are now owlbear nuggets. We get to spend and eat and use the currency of owlbear nuggets because rip Herunthal.
Prior campaign? What are you talking about?
Chain.
Yeah, it's
there's a
fast food
chain in this world.
In this world,
Herunthals.
Every universe has a Herunthal, which is like the McDonald's, but it's spelled differently in every universe, just slightly.
Yeah,
but they're all
yeah.
pronounced Herunthal.
Yep. They're all
it's the golden
franchises, so
age.
they're like independently owned and they spell their name differently. So people are like, "Hey, you want to go to Herunthals? Yeah, the DH one or the TH one?"
They're so bootleg.
Does Herunthal have like a D in
hell?
it? I think it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of letters
Oh.
that shouldn't be in there.
I've never spelt it that way. Yeah.
It's also really interesting because, like, you get the bear parts for the burgers and you get the owl parts for the.
Oh, and they have distinct shapes. I don't know if you knew this about their nuggies. They have the paw, they have the wing,
I go there for their donuts all the time.
and the beak.
Their
You go.
Their bear claws. Yeah, their bear claws. Great.
Oh my god.
Herunthal was looking down from owlbear heaven and is crying, weeping that you guys just debase him.
I can't wait
missed
for us to
opportunity for
try
income.
to buy these hero points when we go
Guys.
through a drive-through. Oh, there's a Herunthal drive-through. Let's go.
Yeah.
I've made a decision. One day we have to come to session. All of us just go out and get like different kind of chicken strips or chicken nuggets, and we're just gonna spend a day. Everybody gets a Herunthal nuggie, and we just eat Herunthal live on TV and make Varso cry.
Yep.
That's happening.
Okay. Back to
I'm
this.
not asking waffles. I'm just saying it's happening.
Yeah. You all buy nuggets and they're all very cold.
Mine was
Okay.
poor.
Back to the session. Zaya rolled a 12. Eisen rolled a 6 with the nuggie to attempt help. Unsuccessful aid. You watch Ninal kind of. She gives a slight smile for a second. She goes, "Okay, I do know information about the black box. It's information I am not allowed to give you." And you see her shrug for a second. "Yet, I'm paying you out of my pocket. When you return me to Absalom Station, each of you will be receiving 500 credits. Now,
Okay.
if you would like this information, we'll reduce all of that to 250.
How do we
I'd
know
rather
the
the credits,
information is
honestly.
worth it? You. Well, I'll put it this way: if you have some information about the AI being trackable, that will influence your safety.
I don't have that information, but I have more in-depth information about why the Starfinder Society wants the AI.
Oh, I don't care. Oh.
I'll take the cut.
I only care that you are safe.
Well, if you want to take everyone's cut, but you can only take 2 people's cut actually. So I need a total. Jeez, here, count of 1,250 credits back to me.
No.
It's not worth it.
It is
I-
perfectly
Yeah, I'm
worth
not
it.
that interested.
This thing
No.
is.
It is not ours.
When we get back to Absalom,
keep
we
it.
literally will not have the ship anymore. It is not worth the trouble.
All right.
And it's one of those things I feel we'll learn more about as time passes one way or another, so...
Not if we
Interesting
return
that the
ship
Starfinder
now.
Society doesn't wish for us to know.
I mean, this is commonplace, right? This is how... at
Weird,
least
since
how
we're
our
not
general
members.
owners worked. Yeah.
All right. I put my hands in the air.
Okay, I will retire to my room. Do you all know where we're going? Will we be going to Arcanon or Absalom Station?
I believe
Our
our
canon currently, it seems.
Tetsu's eyes just narrow.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. I will prepare for the stormy wasteland that is our canon.
How long of a journey will this be?
Eisen tracked it.
Eisen had checked it before. It's about 2 to 3 hours of true travel.
I will call her back one more time and say, I believe all of us need, and I glance over to Tetsu, a rest. So we'll likely try to park out somewhere before heading to the moon.
Sure. I don't believe there is many docking stations on the moon, so I would assume you just put your ship in stationary drift.
Yes. Rest well.
You as well.
Also, if you have any armor, I suggest putting it on before we get there.
Do you plan to join us, on the moon front, or do you want to stay here?
Why
I'll
would
stay
you
here
visit
if you
her
allow
on
it.
the moon?
If we what, sorry?
I'll stay here if you allow it.
Alright, well, let's scope the place and we'll decide, but just wanted to know what your preference was.
Okay.
Assume combat when you make your decision if we get there in time.
Yeah, that's...
Sure.
Once she leaves, I will, look at everybody and be like, it's up to all of you if you feel that you decide she's trustworthy enough to stay here without us, but, can this ship be piloted by just one person? Can she take the ship and go?
It could be piloted by one person. This is not a ship that could be piloted and gunshot and computers run kind of thing, but you could definitely fly it to a place.
Right.
Yes, I would rather her accompany us.
Would I have the ability
tell
to
the
potentially shut the ship, prevent it from accessing certain features? Could I essentially disable the drift engine?
I will say, I'll give you 2 choices. I'll say 1, you definitely know a way to shut the ship down into kind of like a dry dock scenario to where it will take you very long to start it back up, hours to start it back up. It's not 1 hour like usual, but 6 to 8. Or you can attempt to take a part that the ship absolutely needs to run, just a coupling from one of the engines or something, but that's going to be an engineering check and a failure could break it.
Are you mentioning any of this
I
out
think we
loud?
need it with us.
No, I believe Moat would just be kind of considering options based off of conversation that they hear.
Okay.
Yeah,
They're still
Tetsu
focused
would
on
be
the
asking.
mask at the moment.
Yeah, Tetsu would ask Zeha and just go, can you not, seeing as the AI is attached to the ship, tell the AI to lock all the systems?
That's what I was wondering. I don't know if she knows an override code or any other information. I don't know what and how much control she has, given this is a Starfinder ship. Nonetheless, it's an option.
Starfinder AI, I don't think.
I don't know if it is a Starfinder. We don't know a lot of things, so I think we should rest. We should make our way over to the moon, and we should start asking some questions and getting some more information before perhaps we want to renegotiate this deal that Inal has offered once we know more information. But for now, if that was your decision, that's fine. She could tell she is annoyed by it, but is whatever. But to Dr. Len's point, there is some benefit to having her with us as well.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why are we taking this risk? We did a good job for the Starfinder Society. They would be wise to take us for it. Why are we risking the actual mission to do a different, obviously dangerous mission?
I hear you. My concern is...
I don't think you do.
No, I do. Why would you... She recomposes herself. Anyways. You know what? I don't know. Myself. I'll speak for myself. I wish to get into the Starfinder Society, and from my understanding, some of you do as well. Given that being the case, And what I know of the Starfinder Society, they like those that help them. We helped them with a third-party mission, but we're still not recognized for anything. They invest in those that show the proclivity to help those in need.
We're just mercs currently.
We're bodies, we're bodyguards. We did one job for them, that's wonderful, but that doesn't make us stand out.
No.
And from my experience, standing out helps.
We did not do the job. That is the problem. Our job is to be bodyguards, and if we put the person we are bodyguarding at risk for something else,
She's willing.
Stepped away from our job. It does not matter. That is not the job. Whether she is willing or not, our job is to protect her, regardless of what her will is.
Eisen.
Our job is that she is safe.
I hear you. Eisen, what do you think?
Honestly, well, I'm interested, and I think we should go regardless. Logically, I'm on Tetsu's side. Risking a mission for something else is a bit much for my taste.
Mind you, the Starfinder Society themselves said that it would be incredibly helpful. It's not.
That's
it's
why
not that
I'm
it's
thinking
against.
we should go.
All right, Dr. Len,
It is
how about
against
you?
the mission.
It's
Dr. Len.
Oh, I thought you said moat. Sorry.
Sounds the same.
Yes, Tetsu, I'm sorry to side against you here, but they did sign off personally on it, and assuming we do a good enough job again, we shouldn't have to worry about losing our ward. But I think Zeha is bringing up some points when she's saying that this would be going above and beyond. Quite frankly, it might be a long time of just doing odd jobs before any of us are given the go-ahead by the society. So I'd rather do something to stand out as quickly as possible.
This is what we have done is something that we were tasked to do, and we would return her, and they would be grateful, we would get paid, and then they would move on. And we could continue to try and find opportunities to do things for the Starfinder Society. But, moving on. Moat?
Huh? What?
You were here, weren't you? Or no?
No, I was downstairs working on my mask.
we're having a vote whether we should go to the moon or not.
Yeah, let's go to the moon.
Perfect. 3 against
It gets us
1.
extra
That
stuff,
is
and
3 against 2.
we might get more info.
perfect. It's been decided. To the moon. Let's rest up. Tetsu,
Saw this
I
coming.
think you need to rest.
Also,
Yeah,
Zeha,
so I can stand in the front of the guns again.
salty is a really old term. The new one is dusted.
Oh, thanks for the memo. As he disappears, or they disappear.
You see Eisen put like his hand in front of his face for a moment. He doesn't make a sound, but he just kind of like coughs for a second, and then just like without making a moment.
Say how's your grandma
I am
using that archaic language. Okay, so the decision is to rest up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Tetsu's going to his room to sulk
Okay.
and play with the foxes.
What I was
And
gonna
sleep.
suggest was that we rest, but can we like be doing stuff in the meantime around the ship?
It depends what you want to do, obviously. This is the same as normal Pathfinder or D&D rules. Like, a long rest has to be uninterrupted kind of light duty stuff. Like, you can read a book and get a long rest. You can't fix the hole in the side of your ship and get a long rest.
Can I actually ask, because like theoretically from what we know, like this person is under pressure, like should we only be taking a short rest? I feel like we have 2 to 3 hours. Like it won't be enough to get a long rest, but like with Dr. Len's healing ability and with everything else, shouldn't we just be going there?
If we take
Yeah,
a
I
short
can heal.
rest, do we get our level 2 everything back?
No,
Please.
that's your guys' decision.
We'll get our stamina.
Yeah, you have your full stamina, and Dr. Len can heal some of your health because of his new thing that he has.
Honestly, if we were to take a long rest, the funny thing is, we'd be like only getting a single health point back. So
no, we would be getting two health points back. And
spellcasters.
I thought that's if I have the med lab.
You would get 2 health points back, and then spellcasters would gain their spell they learned. Right now, they don't have it because we don't do mental abilities.
Well, okay, but separately though, like, we gained a level. Are you gonna make a slow heal in general? That stuff. Not talking about damage taken, but are you gonna make a slow heal our level up?
Yeah. Do I get my 11 hit points back? Or 10?
I'll say if you long rest, you can have your level up hit points.
Okay.
It's still not worth
So
it.
like if you gain 7, then you can add 7 on your long rest instead of
okay.
the
But
1
if we
that you
long
normally
rest, get those back, and Dr. Len can heal a little bit more, is that not then useful?
If I get a long rest, Tetsu's healed. Basically.
Let's full step out of character right now. Basically, your options are, like, you're going to the moon. So your options are long rest, which is 8 hours, or short rest, which is 10 minutes. You do know that the trip there takes 3 hours, period, whether you short rest or long rest.
Right.
So basically, a long rest costs you an extra 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
The talk with the person, the message was cut off. So you assume they're under some sort of time constraint, yet you're all hurt. Yeah, I guess you could say they're under some sort of time constraint, and or they're already effed, and you don't want to go in there yet.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the other argument to that is you, like, man, I lost what I was gonna say. But you guys are kind of effed too. Like Tetsu is at like 1 HP or something.
Right. Tetsu's at 1 hit point, 2 resolve points. I get those back if we rest. Tetsu is already feeling pretty banged up. The people very willing to go in have not taken that damage yet.
Well, my thing is that we don't know what we're encountering, but we know we're expecting trouble. I just don't think it's smart to not go in there fully rested.
Right.
I agree. If like
I can't help you if I don't have health. Yeah.
And
I mean, we can't save them if we're dead.
Okay, what's the party decision?
I say long rest.
I say long rest. Carrick, you say?
I say...
Yeah, long rest.
I say get there, observe situation, decide rest based on that.
Start with short, get there, observe, decide.
Essentially, yeah. Because like we'd be able to
I don't know that it changes
take
much,
short
but
rest
sure.
along the way. But I mean, like we'd be able to see, oh, is there a crater where this thing used to be? Okay, cool, we can take a rest. If it's an incursion,
very specific,
we can decide.
A very specific circumstance might change my mind, but it would have to be very specific.
Because my thought is, even if we go there and there's a giant crater with smoke going out, then I want to be rested. There's nothing really that tells me that I don't want to be. So we can say that, but for right now, I'm thinking we're gonna long rest. So, unless.
All right.
My only thing with the situation.
I need to know it's a 3-hour drive there, so 3 hours of your long rest would be taken up while you're going there, and or you just land there and then spend 8 hours.
No, we would start the long rest and then observe the situation when we get there.
I am not going to long rest. I'm just probably going to do a short rest, if anything. I'm gonna fly us there, so you don't have to worry about the flying. I got
will also avoid resting and will simply essentially take over anything for anybody. He can take over. They can take over computers for Tetsu when they get close for any sort of scans or any sort of potential distress signals.
Okay. And then Dr. Lin, Tetsu, and Zeha are gonna begin to kind of just settle down and begin to rest.
So one of my original question about what you could do during a long rest was because I wanted to just keep questioning Grace during the long rest.
That's perfectly fine, unless you're trying to hack.
No.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. All right. Then we will assume the 3 of you are settling down for a long rest, the other 2 of you are settling down for a short rest, and that's where we'll take our break.
Oh boy.
Okay.
No.
Lots of
No.
questions. During break, we gotta brainstorm what we're gonna ask Grace. Okay.
Yeah, Varsa, tell me how much you heal me.
During break.
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
during break.
We will be right back. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We hope you're enjoying it, and I can't wait to find out what shit went down on the moon.
They're dead.
All right, guys.
They're all dead.
Be right back. And we're back.
And we're back.
Hey,
back.
And that's why I killed Nanal.
We're back. All right.
Say it one more time.
We got people bedding down for a long rest. We got people bedding down for a short rest. Are any of you doing anything in this 3-hour trek to Arcanon?
3-hour tour.
I am doing something small.
Okay, what's up?
During that time, like, if we found, like, an asteroid I can use as, like, general cover as we're, like, going towards the moon, or, like... So, to set the scene, when I'm flying to the moon, I'm trying to take as, like, complicated flight path as possible, so that anyone trying to follow us will hopefully get lost in whatever gobbledygook I'm trying to do.
Sure.
If I need to roll that, I will later, but somewhere in there, in that 3-hour period, I would check in on Moat when things are generally quiet.
Okay. I'll let you know that taking
room.
Yeah, I'll let you know that taking a complicated flight path will increase the time by like 10%. We'll say instead of 3 hours, it's going to take you like 3 hours and 15 minutes. But yeah, besides that, you're free to do what you want.
That's fine. I'd rather take the extra 15 minutes than be followed by the Orc Lady and her big ship.
I concur.
So, like, yeah, somewhere in that, like, 15 minutes where we, like, found, like, a somewhat, like, debris-heavy area that I can just, like, let it go forward on, I would just go down to engineering where Moat has been fixing his mast and check in. Everything okay down here? The engine's doing all right? I had to run it through its paces a little bit.
Yeah, things are fine. I'm just, working on getting this back to normal. But engines seem fine. They're still overcharged, so that's nice.
How's your back doing?
Oh, it stings. It's a little sore, but overall, coveralls are actually more protective than I thought they were.
Considering everything, you did pretty well on the spot.
Thanks. You too. I don't know if I'd be able to. I don't know many people who can cut a hole in a solid wall, so that's kind of cool.
He'll train his arm into the, like, saber. It's a racial trait. We can all do it. If I have time to focus, we use it for all sorts of different things. But This is the main combat form.
Good to know. Good to know.
I'm glad that the shot didn't get you full on. I tried to block it, but probably could have done a little bit better. I didn't want to squish him. I felt like if he turned into a bloody paste if I pushed him too hard.
Yeah, true. But yeah, no. And glad you followed behind me, and that helped out a little bit. That was extra hands always help. So, thanks for that.
Anytime. If I could have actually done some combat, I might have been able to do better. But it's what little I can help with. I'll do. I'm not that good with technology. If it's overly complicated, it might go sideways. Electrical charge and all that.
Yeah, I get how that is. It's tech is weird.
Especially with me recently. Things have gotten more unstable. But that's neither here nor there. Do you happen to have my shawl around? I'm sorry, my overcoat, I lent it to you?
Oh, yeah, it's on the rack over there.
Thanks.
It's just a rack that Moat had made at some point, and
Moat's already making himself at home. Themselves.
Couple of things. Oh yeah, totally.
Actually, what has he done with the engine room? Because like you haven't actually slept in the compartment we share. You sleep down here.
Yeah, it's true. There's the rack that Eisen pulls the coat off of is well, it's not a coat rack. It's just like it's more like a clamp. Like it's just a circular clamp that's open at the moment, and there's just like a set of them right next to each other. Just kind of stuck to a rod and kind of bolted into the wall. They can be kind of tightened up. Kind of small holes, but I mean, if you've ever seen like, I guess like, manacle things where they have like somebody held up by their arms in
this is taking a turn.
Cell.
I don't like where this is going.
Yeah,
what are you doing to the
it's a little
engine
closer
room?
It's a little closer than that, but it's definitely interesting. Other than that, there's not much. There's like electrical parts and all sorts of stuff, spare screens and spare parts that look like they could have been used on Wasp, just kind of strewn about.
Welcome to my BDSM room. I mean, engineering room.
Workshop.
How do you feel
Workshop.
If you're here, you're gonna need to put on the suit.
Yeah.
It's for safety.
Yeah.
Assume the position.
My safe word is email.
Grounder.
Oh, that reminds me. Assuming position. Wasp is in Nal's room.
It is true.
Mm-hmm.
Wasp
What
is
have
over
you
there.
been doing?
Absolutely true.
Yeah, but before we get there, Eisen will take stock of the room. I'm pretty impressed with your tech. The fact that we could even get your mask to interface and all with that thing, besides whatever Grace did, it was impressive.
Well, thanks. I mean, yeah, I'm proud of it too. And as you could see, a little, protective. Kind of, the only thing that I've got to protect myself and kind of express, So I'm gonna make sure that nobody fucks with it. The AI was about the limit of what I'll allow, but that was necessary.
Eisen will shrug. Do you think we could build a workshop in this place? He'll point to the sword at his hip. When I left home, I couldn't grab what I wanted to grab. So this isn't my ideal weapon of choice. I've learned how to make them, but it takes a lot of stuff, and I need specialized equipment. I only really know how to do it the way I did back home, and that requires a lot of heat. Like a room that's a kiln, it has to get hot.
Yeah, I'm sure we could put that on a ship. I don't know if we'll be able to use this ship, but maybe once we stop at Epsilon.
This BDSM room is perfect for that.
Things get hot.
You'd
have to raise the temperature by literally 100 degrees, and then yes. I need it to be
If that's your thing, Eisen, that's cool. I mean, we don't judge here.
Who doesn't like a
I need it to be glass blowing workshop hot.
But yeah, I'm sure we could work towards that. Once we get back to the station, and if we still have this ship, or if we get a new ship, I mean, I don't see why not.
Can you do me a favor? Can you just keep an eye on the internal systems? Whatever that thing is doing, it's integrating probably every second, and I just want to make sure that it doesn't hit something that makes us explode all of a sudden.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eyes out.
I'd also be wary of plugging into the internal systems right now. Some sort of stopgap, maybe?
I got defenses in position.
Zeha connected the AI to the lodge, so whatever caused that building to explode could possibly also now be stored in grace.
True. But I guess we'll have to cross that bridge.
Oh well. I think that's everything? Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
If you need anything, just get me on comms.
Yeah, no problem.
And if you want, I can carry the mattress down here. I know you don't like the quarters, but if you're going to sleep down here, you might as well get comfortable.
Just shove it down the little porthole.
Can.
Whatever.
Have you been looking through Moat or through Wasp?
Moat has not looked through Wasp at all. Wasp is just kind of idle.
Okay.
Lame.
Dr. Lin, anything you're doing during your rest?
Yes, I will. Dr. Len, like Tetsu, leaves in a unhappy mood. Len will enter his and Tetsu's BDSM chamber, aka their room.
Except the room has been transformed because currently the bed has like the sheet so that it's like touching the ground, like so you can't see under the bed. And a backpack may or may not have been emptied, hopefully, of its contents. Tetsu basically tried to make a glitch box den.
Okay. I'll tell you that when you tried to do that, when you emptied them, you emptied them in front of your face the first time, they disappeared. And then
I wouldn't empty them in my face.
And then you set up the fox den and stuff, and finally put the backpack in there, and you begin seeing the sheet that's kind of hanging over begin moving, and you get the sense that they're moving around in there.
Okay, so he's just kind of laying there. Occasionally I'll reach down and give him a pat, but not looking.
Len walks in and observes for a few seconds, and then slowly starts walking towards Tetsu. Interesting. So do these fox things only exist when unobserved, or?
They do not exist if you look at them, but you are able to touch them if you are not trying to look at them. I have not figured out the rules of how they work yet.
Interesting. Well, let's just hope they aren't some sort of spies from whatever the Farron and the Orc were.
Turns out they're not tracking Grace, they're tracking the foxes.
And I will die on this hill.
We had our foxes chipped.
If they weren't so inconvenient of spies, I might be a bit more wary. And then Len kind of starts to dig through his pouch and pulls out this box thing. You want me to start taking care of your wounds, or?
Yes, seeing as we will be going back into the fight soon. Yes.
He pulls out one of the oversized needles he uses in his gun. You're not afraid of needles, are you?
Where do you put the needle?
I'll just need to draw a blood sample from you, or blood equivalent. That gotta attune this micro lab to you.
Any liquid you have in your body.
Any liquid? Huh?
I mean, how are you gonna draw blood from Eisen? Just say it.
Tetsu puts offers his arm to you and goes, "There's blood."
Yeah, and then Len will just extract some attune. He has this box thing that he kind of attaches to this small screen that's embedded in his wrist, and then looks at that for a few seconds, sticks the needle and some strange fluids into the box. It mixes quickly into this slightly greenish serum. All right, now stay still, Tetsu. He injects him and heals you up some. Starts to catalyze whatever. I don't know how science works, but it makes you feel better for health.
No, please describe.
Sounds right.
Ad hoc describe how the word science works.
Yeah.
So hold on. Let me link my peer-reviewed study into the Twitch chat.
Yeah, can we go to the whiteboard screen? He needs to do I need to see the math of how this works.
This is the Dr. Lin wiki.
chemical
so I put
makeup,
the Android
please?
bits back into the Android bits.
So just give that a few minutes to rest, and then I can give you another dose. I hope everything's all good with everybody after what was going on back there. Yeah, you all good?
I do not mind being shot or in danger. That is not my problem. I just hoped, at least working for those who would help the Starfinder Society, would be more open and honest than those I've worked with in the past.
Well, I can agree with that. He's kind of like awkwardly shuffling in the middle of the room. And well, and most of this will get sorted out soon enough, and with any luck, once we're actually part of a Starfinder Society, they'll start cluing us in. That's kind of what this is all a bit for, right?
I don't need to know, I just need to know that there are things I don't know.
Well, thankfully we know there are things we don't know.
It's not the point, but yes.
I figured.
We are going to this planet, so it does not matter. I will do the job. Do not worry. Shut up, I know it's a moon.
Actually,
it's
Let Tetsu
Actually, it's a moon. As Tetsu's hooked up to this machine, he's just like pulled out like his comm unit and like hooked it up to like basically an iPad thingy, and is just kind of typing into it and just kind of as he's letting you patch him up, he's kind of typing away to somebody and just kind of not very talkative, though he never is. He generally just kind of sits there and talks or types or does stuff when you're in the room anyway.
Then we'll just like lie down and just kind of do the same procedure to himself and just kind of sit in the nice silence.
I just imagine the bell like laying sideways.
Dr. Lynn's like, hold on, I need to use your bed. And then he lies down and just injects himself with something.
Tetsu has a jelly bed. Don't be jelly about it, okay?
Is it like Odo with a bucket? Do you just like take whatever shape you're in? Like
I don't know what the words you just said are.
Surely you know Deep Space Nine.
I know of Deep Space Nine. I didn't really watch.
I think Lynn could squish into obscure shapes if need be. Might be uncomfortable.
Oh, he'll squish into weird shapes if I want him to. Yeah.
All right. Is that it for Dr. Lynn and Tetsu?
Yes, that's it. Ended on a sour note.
Okay. With Dr. Lynn injecting himself. Zeha.
Oh, I guess Dr. Lynn has a drug problem. That's the more you know.
I can quit anytime, okay?
I'm assuming this is like when Aizen is still in the pilot seat, but I would just kind of check in with you before I like move on. Just be like, I'll be clear, piloting okay, you all right? Do you need anything?
We should be fine. You seem to have unique access to Grace. When we were asking questions before, I noticed a lot of us were getting do not comply, and yet you were different.
I'm gonna call not true, because that didn't happen.
No, it did. We asked a bunch of questions, and then you reworded the question, and you got a response. So he doesn't know why.
I'm also gonna say not true. So what happened? Me and her actually kind of talked to this about after the session. What happened is all of you were asking for Grace's purpose of being built,
and I asked something else. I didn't reword
it. She continued to say that's classified. You said who? She said that's classified. And then Zeha asked, I can't remember the exact question, but it didn't have to do with her purpose of being built. It was more like, I think she said, like, what is your purpose? And then Grace just restated her name.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Oh no,
it
that was
like
actually
one
that was
time
Tetsu.
and it was
Tetsu
like-
asked what her purpose was. She restated her name, and then I asked something like if she could even like I think I just told her to do a scan actually. I don't remember, and we could definitely check.
No.
But
It was something vague.
yeah.
Yeah, it was something vague that I took as rewording. If it wasn't that and we're saying it wasn't, then I won't ask the question.
Basically, what everybody should know so far is Grace has anything that has to do with Grace's past. She has said it's classified. Anything that she is being told to do actively in the present has not been.
Mm-hmm.
Got ya. Then that's fine.
Yeah.
Then Eisen will simply say, I think we're good. I'm gonna lay in a little bit of a complicated course just to throw off any scent, but it won't take that much extra time.
All right. I'll be in my quarters. If anybody needs anything.
Mm-hmm. You did good before, by the way.
Oh, the bodyguard.
And keeping things calm.
Oh, yeah, that's new for me. I was trained to handle diplomats and to entertain. What do you know? Those skills are useful in handling bickering children.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
I used to be around a lot of people with those talents. You're still a little rough, but I see a little bit of promise. You just need a little bit more practice. Maybe I'll just egg them on a little bit for you, just to make sure that you're prepared for when situations get really bad.
How gracious of you, Eisen. Thank you so much. Whatever would I do without your help?
Shots fired. Shots fired.
But there is a like, not really like she's so obviously being like that there is some like amusement there.
Right, and you can tell from like Eisen, like you can tell from him smirking anytime that you were put in the middle, and like he's just slightly poking a little bit of fun.
Maybe I'll set up a situation to see how you handle next time. Pilot.
Oh.
And then I start walking down the steps.
Mm-hmm. When you leave, when the door closes, you can hear like the doors are solid enough that you can't hear what he's playing, but you can hear him flip on some sort of music.
Is it shimmering rock? Hard rock?
You don't know what it is.
I hear this deep bass.
Yeah, you hear something. You can hear noise. You can't quite make out what it is.
I pause on the other side of the room
FM.
of the door, and I'm just like, "That's a choice." Then I go.
So I was like, "Are we getting shot?" All I hear is like rumbling and screaming. Weird.
There's a lot of bass, but it will switch. He has eclectic taste. It's fine. It will switch as the day goes on.
Excellent.
I love the. Sorry, I'm gonna interrupt you real quick. I love the scene of like if all of you are on the captain's deck or something, that it's just a fight between jazz, shimmering rock, and I imagine Moat listens to like EDM or something.
You're forgetting the best one. Me playing classical like opera.
Yeah, classical.
And then playing Ocean Man on a loop. What are you guys talking about?
It's space opera, right? So we'll mix. Eisen and I will get together and we'll record this like album of like rock opera. It'll be beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
My Chemical Romance. Gotcha.
My Chemical Romance opera.
That's nothing even close to space opera. Space rock opera. Whatever.
Does Tetsu just listen to lo-fi?
No. Tetsu actually listens to like heavy metal rock music, like Eisen kind of.
Nice.
Okay.
Like what Tetsu is and his aesthetic are very different.
Yeah.
I will head into my room and I will lock the door behind me. Once I lock the door, I will check for any hiding wasps.
Give me a perception check.
Please roll a natural one.
There you go. It's a 3.
I mean,
Natural 3 for a 3.
All right, giving a quick look around, you do not see anything in your room.
Grace, can you hear me?
Yes.
Are there any bots, such as Wasp, in this room with me? Any listening devices?
That's cheating.
I do not believe there is any listening devices in your room.
Thank you, Chris.
What is she then?
Yeah, she's lying.
I
am a speaking device.
She is the room. She's not in the room.
All right, Grace. Do you have access still to your Starfinder records that you pulled?
Yes.
Do you also have access to the data from your time at the Silver Drake, or is it classified for me as well?
That information is classified.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. What? Scan through the Starfinder information. Are there any classified folders within there that you can access?
Yes, they are all classified under Starfinder information.
Do any have a deeper level of encryption?
Yes, they all have one deeper level of encryption.
Okay, any information on anything interesting?
Sure. Would you like me to tell you here?
Privately, yes.
I have 4 folders. I have Evolution Theory, Arcanon, Acquire Grace, Liavara, Energy Exploration, Jesper Cluster, Shimranzara, Arcanon.
Wait, I can't write this fast. Evolution Theory on Arcanon.
Yep.
I'm panicking. Acquire Grace on Liavara.
Yep.
Okay, what's the next one?
Energy Exploration, Jesper Cluster, Shimranzara, Arcanon.
Leave my homeland alone.
Arcanon, Shimranzara. What was the first one?
Jesper Cluster.
Panic.
That is JEZPER cluster.
I'm gonna write Jasper after Jasper's game day. And
Sounds perfect.
Last folder.
Drift travel, coordinates, or crew needed.
I shift excitedly in my seat.
Each of these folders have one level of encryption under them. Would you like to know those?
Would you have any issue accessing them? Or do you have all the access?
I have all data here.
Yes, please.
All right. Under the evolution theory, Grace says, further research on uses.
Would you be my favorite person ever and using, space technology in the real world? Do you have this information you could share with us in notes? Yes.
Yeah, I'll do that. Under acquire Grace, you hear Grace say, figure out interaction and process. Under energy exploration, you hear Grace say, access ease and cost. And then under drift travel, you hear Grace say, triune and beacon creation.
Wait, that's a very significant thing.
Yeah. No joke. Okay. Okay. Evolution theory, Arcanin. Any additional information? As in what research they're doing on the moon, or what uses on the moon, as well as location on the moon, as facilities.
I have given you all the information that was held within the Dreamer's Lodge computers.
Okay. Thank you. Are any of these 4 folders further encrypted than the rest, or are they all on the same level of encryption?
I see no further encryption.
Okay. Erase any history of accessing these files.
I cannot do that without erasing the files themselves.
Okay. Then hold off. Just. She scratches like her forehead again, and then like you see like the camera sees like she's sitting there and she's fiddling with her comm unit for a moment, and then she's looking at the door, and she seems conflicted and a little antsy, and then kind of biting her lip. Well, you can't see that because she has a cloth, but then kind of like just fiddling. She'll sigh, step up, and leave the room. Go back to the main deck, and then ask for Eisen. Are you there, or are you with Moat right now, Eisen?
It all depends. Like, my conversation, I don't think took more than like 5 minutes. So,
are you at
it all depends.
Eisen, are you at a spot where you can leave the pilot seat for a moment?
I think so. I don't see anything on the horizon. We should be fine.
Perfect.
Hey, you can hear like the din of music as he's like turned it down. I just thought of something. We should ask Grace to track back the attack. They should have the security data.
The attack on...
the lodge.
On the lodge. Yes.
Whatever made their security go haywire, they should have record of that. We might be able to figure out who sent it from where, if we're lucky.
Yes.
If it came from the moon, then we might be able to use that data to track whatever is going on.
Uh-huh. You see she's like, yep, like, but slightly distracted. Can you grab Moat? I'll gather the others. Meet here. Just make sure Nanal stays in her quarters or just doesn't come here. And then I'll go.
You've come to the cockpit or to the central? Like, are you calling me on comms in like the central area between the 4 rooms or the captain's?
I've opened the door to the where the computers and the gunner and
cockpit.
Like the cockpit. Thank you. Yes. I opened the door there and I've stepped through and I'm kind of like talking to you without going up that last bit of steps to where I normally sit.
Got it. All right. Will do.
And then I will jump back down and knock on the door for Tetsu and Dr. Len.
Len will jump up and head over, probably to let Tetsu get his rest.
Hold on, we're not decent.
I just opened the door.
Gotta put his pants on one leg at a time.
You just walk in and Tetsu is wearing Len, like he's just like stepped in.
Which is the BDSM room? Okay.
We're not there in our relationship yet, but
yes.
Do you mind joining me in the cockpit, please?
Oh, he looks back at like Tetsu. Yeah, sure. Let me just grab my hat. Oh,
Gotta be a doctor again.
I left it up in the main hall. And okay, I'll just go. He squeezes
Oh,
around.
look, a hat! You hear Eisen say. I was like...
Dr. Len, does that mean you treated Tetsu not as a doctor?
I'm gonna get sued. Oh, no. Oh, goodness.
He shot the last android in the neck, so,
All right, so once everybody has...
Tetsu grabs his IV thing and starts slowly making his way to the pilot cockpit.
Yes, perfect.
All right, I will...
Yes!
I'll tell... Once everybody's gathered, I will tell I'll say, Grace, can you temporarily close the door to here, to the cockpit? And can you ensure that Ninal... what is Ninal's status currently?
Ninal seems to have been bedded down for the night.
Has she sent any extra communication since the first one?
No.
Okay. Then yes, we should be all right to talk for a moment. Grace, can you please... Does everybody... Sorry, I've gathered you here today. Now that everybody's here, I wanted to just take a moment to sift through the information that we got from the lodge, the Dreamers Lodge. We grabbed the database, and I believe they might have some information as to where we're going. And then Eisen here thought about asking about footage or some more information about the attack itself. Considering we don't actually know who did it if it wasn't the Silver Drake. Grace, can you open any information on Arcanen, please?
Sure. What would you like to know?
Is there any, what did we learn? I'm trying to remember what we learned from Yalion 2235 was the dude. Situation has been compromised and was some science project or something like that. Is that all that we know right now from what we heard from the message?
Basically. So the message says that let me find it real quick. Actually, I can't find it super quick. Basically, the message says that my position has been compromised. I am requesting, and then it cuts out.
Yeah.
Like he states his name, says, I'm Yalian 2235. My position has been compromised. I am requesting. That's all the message says. And then Esne herself said that there was somebody that was running experiments for the Starfinder Society, and that's all that she really knew.
Okay.
And a crew went up to
Yep.
A crew was up there, but they went off grid basically, probably dead.
Right.
Very quickly.
Is there any information on a Starfinder project on Arcanen?
This?
What did you say, Tetsu?
Sorry, I didn't mean. Where is Esne? Because she's on the ship.
No, they stayed behind.
She stayed behind.
Yeah,
I had her come on the ship.
No, you had her leave the Dreamers Lodge.
Okay.
Yeah, from what I understood, we kind of had that very quick conversation, but from what I understood, Esne was leaving Dreamers Lodge because of thoughts it might be re-attacked, but she was staying behind.
Right. We cleansed it though. We cleaned the building of data. She had us clean the records.
She cleansed the data as well. She didn't know, but she cleansed the data, so to speak, herself with whatever program, and then she left.
Yeah.
Because we said it wasn't safe.
She came up with us to the orbit, and I thought plan was she was coming on the ship with us.
Yeah, I thought the same, but
yeah, I mean,
yeah, we can say she should stay behind. All right.
Yeah, I mean, we can. What do y'all want to say since we're 50-50 confused? Is she on the ship or did she stay behind? If she's on the ship, then she's been resting because she almost died.
Yeah,
I'm assuming would wanted her on the ship, but
I'm assuming she's not on the ship. I recall she said something about she can have her own transportation. I don't remember, but
yeah, she said. I thought she said actively, I don't want to come along because that would be more dangerous. My job is to stay here so that we can fix the problem.
We convinced her to not stay there. That was her first reaction. Then we said, no, there's people coming.
Okay, we'll say
it doesn't matter.
We'll say she's currently on the ship because I feel like I remember that a little better, and that she's on the ship, but she's resting in the cargo hold or somebody's room that gave up their room. But it
I
doesn't.
would.
So
That's
far, yeah, so far, I was about to say, so far, the only person that could have given up their room is Eisen, so.
Okay. So ensuring she's also secure, which I'm assuming she is.
Yeah, she's basically passed out.
I asked for any Starfinder project information on the Arcanon.
Starfinder Society on Arcanon is working on something called evolution theory. I have no further data on this.
Who created that file?
That is classified.
You don't have access to it?
Crap.
I have access to it. I cannot share that access with you.
Who has access to that information aside from you?
That would be me. Sorry, I encrypted it for Nanal. They can access. Grace.
I'm sorry. That information is classified from you as well.
Oh.
What information did
I was confused.
you
I just wanted to keep Nanal out from here if she was going to stay on the ship. But okay.
Date when it was created.
Anymore, unfortunately.
The date that this was created was...
And then she says some date that is approximately about 1.5 years ago.
Right. Okay.
What? You do not have any data about what kind of evolution was being studied?
What is...
I do. I cannot share it with you.
What is Arcanon, the moon, known for? Maybe, and I not in the question, kind of aside to everybody, is like maybe they, if it's evolution theory, like do they have like some life form or something? I don't know.
Arcanon is known to house supernatural storms that many scientists or magical practitioners will travel to Arcanon to capture and use.
These storms contain magical properties.
They contain the energy to access magical properties.
Okay. Is there a Starfinder base on the moon?
Not in my current data, no.
Do you know where the evolution theory research is being done on the moon?
The evolution theory is being done on Arcanon. It is being done in a laboratory.
Uh-oh.
Do you know if a Dr. Duro works for the Starfinder Society?
I know of no Dr. Duro.
I give Tetsu a look. Just to raise everything.
Great.
Same.
Search the evolution file for the name Resk. I want number of finding for the name Resk, please.
Are these people I'm supposed to know? Did I miss some sort of briefing or something?
No, you didn't.
I don't know
idea.
either.
Evolution theory does not contain the name Resk.
All right, good.
Okay. Do you know the location of the laboratory on Arcanon?
I can establish coordinates to the laboratory, yes.
Do you have blueprints? I say excitedly.
Blueprints of the laboratory are not in my files.
Are they... Do you know if they're above ground, in the moon, underground, anything like that?
No.
Do you have access codes? Do you have the last access codes as per the last sending of that message?
No.
can you identify the distress signal's origin?
Yes, that is how I have the coordinates of the laboratory.
Okay, I
Got
thought
ya.
I was being smart. But also confirming that is where they came from, so that's good.
No, yeah.
Yo, I like having a computer. This is fantastic.
Are we allowed to go near the laboratory for potential rescue?
I do not know.
Do you,
What are the people in danger going to do? Shoot us down?
Ain't true. I'm
I think
just
it's the
seeing
people
what we can
attacking
get.
we should be worried about.
So, Grace, can you route us and pilot us towards the laboratory and get us there?
Yes. Zeha, do you wish coordinates to be set towards the laboratory?
I'd rather just know them. I don't want anything entered that I can't erase, just in case.
nodding to Eisen, I'll say, let's hold on that. Let's just send the coordinates to the pilot's computer.
Very well.
Grace, backtrack from the moment of the... Do you have data on the explosion? Security information?
At the Dreamer's Lodge.
At the Dreamer's Lodge. I assume that that's the only source of, like, security information they'd have, but...
I have some data on the explosion at the Dreamer's Lodge.
Internal security was out of parameters. Can you identify a cause?
Yes, it seems there was unauthorized access and then attempted forced entry.
Backtrack the
do you know
access.
Do you know? Do you have any footage and/or information on the infiltrator?
I have no footage. I have no information. I cannot backtrack the access. The attempted forced entry was large.
Define large.
High caliber explosives. Military grade, likely.
Hold on, I thought that they used their own internal security against them. Are you saying that there was other ordinances in the building?
Yes, I believe, much like when you attempted to slice through the wall, there was something much larger that attempted to explode, blow up, get through the wall.
I
My
see.
assumption is it bursts back the amount of energy you try to break through it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay, so somebody planted military-grade explosives. Lovely. And apparently, this wasn't the Aspis Consortium. Don't know if we believe them, but
And
interesting.
it wasn't enough.
Yeah, it wasn't enough.
We might want to ask Esne, when she awakes, if she has any
must
record.
have seen them.
That's exactly. But that can wait. Okay. Additionally, do you have, Grace, any information on any Starfinder projects to acquire Grace?
Only what I explained to you in your room.
Aha!
Acquire Grace Miavara.
Damn you, Grace! Why would you do this?
Got her.
Yeah. I think all heads
Collective
turned.
room looks at Zeha.
Hey.
Is there
Grace-
something we're not discussing, or
Do
I was
you want to
looking
tell us,
through
or
the information.
recount all information told, please, Grace?
She begins to.
Yeah. You'll notice he, like, Eisen remains particularly stoic when Shiminsara is brought up. Like, he stiffens.
She doesn't stop it. And she doesn't look
Okay.
guilty either.
Then she
I have
goes
a
through
question.
all of the information.
Does Grace bring up the fact that Zeha tried to wipe her access?
No, she just goes through all the information.
Okay. Then Tetsu doesn't care.
Yeah. Aizen gives you a look of like mild disappointment. It's not like he's like, I expected it to happen, but I was hoping you wouldn't. Look.
I mean, in a way, she went to rest and she was like just chatting with Grace and seeing what information she could get. So she doesn't look ashamed or anything. She just comes and just yeah.
Without her knowing that she tried to wipe it, that's how Tetsu takes it. She was just browsing and was like, "Oh, cool stuff," and she called us together.
Yeah, and I went and I got you guys, and I was like, "Y'all, there's info."
Yeah. And,
she is the best, except for shooting me in the back, which was kind of rude, but...
Yeah, like while you were on the ground begging for mercy, she just shot you with a gun. Crazy.
Oh my god.
Oh, I guess I'll follow Len like she asked me to. Oh, weird. She shot me in the spine. Okay.
I did not. It wasn't me.
Alright, is that all the information we needed? If it's done recounting, my ambies are killing me. It's been a long day.
Please go lay down. I still am missing much blood.
Define?
I mean...
Define blood? Actually, you don't have blood. That makes sense.
No, the statement you made before that, the something is killing me, but you used a slang term.
My ambies, and he gestures at his, like, 4-foot tentacles.
Sorry, one additional question, Grace. You mentioned the energy exploration is also on Arcanon. Is that connected to the evolution theory or a separate research?
I do not know. I imagine, if allowed, that is connected to the storms on Arcanon.
Grace, how many connections are there between the Shimensara project and the Evolution project, if any?
Approximately, calculating, 1.8.
Can you define that connection?
Connection is storms and evolution theory.
Are there any other known figures working as a part, listed as working as part of either the evolution theory or the energy exploration?
That information is classified.
By who?
That information is classified.
Oh,
Yeah.
Come
Mad
on.
robot.
Yeah.
Can
Aizen
Tetsu-
gives a shrug of like, of course it's classified.
I will.
Waffles?
Yeah.
During this, can Tetsu kind of go to the computer, seeing as it's right nearby, and can he access classified info?
You can definitely attempt to.
What we talked about, hacking
Alright.
would cut your long rest, though. You would not be able to.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to long rest.
That's true. You would be interrupting your long rest. You also know that, and I'm not trying to stop you whatsoever, but you also know that accessing classified information is gaining root access, which will be 20 plus whatever the normal hacking check is.
And would that be Grace herself at
You
this
win
point,
this
or would
time,
that be the
Waffles.
ship?
You win
Yes,
this
that would be
time.
Grace.
You also know
Mhm.
that I'm
Yeah.
way better at hacking. And you don't know
You're
that.
barely better at hacking, okay?
Way better. I can do it in half
Way
the time.
better by
Really?
Because,
I'm
One
just like,
point.
really? Time doesn't matter.
dude,
I don't care
Dude.
about time.
extra hands
Dude.
make for light work.
She just uses 4 keyboards.
Guys, I still say we vent her. I'm just saying.
All right, well, I'm gonna, yeah, you all can rest, absolutely, go back to resting. Moat, you noticed her stutter?
Yeah.
Just wanted to bounce off your engineering knowledge if there's anything that could cause that. Is that, and can I like maybe together between engineering with Moat and computers with me cross reference possible like reasons for that? Is it her own internal systems glitching? Is it some connection glitching? You know, anything.
Sure, this would be... My bad. Sure, this would be computers.
Can I make a computers check here in the question?
Yeah.
I'd make it like an open forum discussion.
Oh my god! I cannot roll over a 4 today.
Okay.
If you do say it,
So-
Eisen will help by saying the ship is a piece of crap. And that's probably because...
Yeah, that helps. Moat, one thing that I have been forgetting is a thing, because I wasn't sure exactly how it works. The mechanics bypass ability gives a +1 insight bonus to computers and engineering skill checks. So the whole insight bonus thing I didn't really understand, but it makes me think that's just a +1 to any computer engineering check.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure insight bonuses cannot be stacked, while circumstance bonuses can be stacked.
Yes,
Okay.
but
Cannot
it
be
does
stacked
apply
with
to
what?
any check.
Insight bonuses, like you can't have two +1 insight bonuses only give you a +1.
Right.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Like-
a +2 and a
like-
+1 insight bonus only gives you a +2. You only get the highest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
In
item
general,
bonuses
most
and
bonuses
PF2E
can't
don't
stack.
stack.
Exactly.
Well, anybody who wants to help Zeha, feel free, as she rolls a 25.
Moat's gonna roll.
Shut up!
in
You're
real
not
life.
better than me.
I can't hear you over my superior
Just a
hacking
20.
skills.
Did you
Just gonna say
roll
from now on,
normally,
I'll
or did you roll to
make
help
nicer.
her?
He's rolling
Um,
engineering, she's rolling computers.
Okay.
Oh, is it? Okay, you said it was a computer's roll, so I wasn't sure.
You said it was a computer's check, so I was just doing the same. I think it's the same
oh.
number for me either way.
Then yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the same number either way. But sure, I do it for help since she was prompting that. So a 20 to help.
Okay. 27 computers, Zeha. It could be a variable of about 5 to 10 different things, from her original programming to a virus to the fact that she was disconnected from a power source for as long as she was, to the fact that she still thinks that information on the Silver Drake is classified, yet you're her owner. Like, there's so many things running through your head, you can't pin it down. But there's a lot of potential reasons that she could have a minor glitch, such as stuttering.
Can we roll over that roll to ways to identify this? Like how do we start narrowing down? How do we run these checks?
Sure. You imagine the way to identify what it is would be a very advanced diagnostics. That would be out of all of your skill ranges. You would have to find a higher computer studied entity and or wait until you're probably like until your computer's checks are like average, like until you think you can get about a 35 computers check.
Oof.
Oof.
Well, just a casual.
Okay.
Can I ask, as part of that 25 computers check, a follow-up question to Zeha? Why do you think the security from the lodge would carry over? Right?
Right.
Because we can't access the name of certain files. Why would those things carry over? What's going on there?
The Starfinder intel that's classified, is that separate from the other classified? And I honestly I can ask her.
Yeah, and you can ask her if you want, but I'll carry over your computer's check and say that you believe that it is separate. Everything you've got that thus far, every question you've asked that you've got a response to being classified has something to do with the past.
Right.
It's just weird that she has classified information from the Starfinder Society.
Is it an internal program? Like, is it written into her code that, like, she can't tell people about a thing past a certain date?
That'd be interesting. That's a cool theory. I think left musing with that, and with slight concern that potentially there is a bug in her system, which is a virus, which is a viable option still. So I will have everybody just be alert to that. I think we rest until we get to the moon.
Yeah.
Precisely.
All right. With all of you resting until you get to the moon, I will say you wake up, you get to 3 hours of rest. Thus far, everyone's basically halfway through their long rest. As you begin to land at the coordinates of the moon that you've been given by Grace.
I don't
Not
think we're
landing, but yes.
I think we
We're looking
not-
over
you're
the
not-
planet. We will scan,
Okay.
like, we'll zoom in to see what it looks like on the surface.
We're
at
arriving, and
least.
then, like Ninal mentioned, that we can always stay in stationary drift because we haven't decided if we're taking the long rest or not.
Right.
Okay. I'll tell all of you that, like, a scan from orbit, you're not really going to get to see much. Like, this isn't like Google Earth where you zoom in a whole lot.
It is Google Earth. I pulled it up.
No. Like, first of all, I'll say, like, from orbit, literally the entire moon is covered in clouds and lightning storms.
Fair.
Are there
Second,
Closer.
there's no way for you guys to sit outside of any kind of planet, even if there weren't lightning storms. And let's say planet Earth, and zoom into a very particular, like, spot and building.
fair? Are there any, as we enter closer to the atmosphere, any other ships in the area? I wanna boost computers to scan, like, as far reaching as we can, like, around as we're getting closer.
Right.
Yeah,
Mo can
a scan
divert
pings out
power.
literally all power to computers. A scan pings out. No, there are literally 0 ships, and you imagine that's probably par for the course with an isolated moon like this. Like, there's very specific reasons people come here, and you don't imagine people are coming here for this laboratory very often.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, before we land, we have to make a decision. I personally, I say as I yawn, would love to be at full tip-top shape, but to be perfectly honest, I don't know. I'm only a little down in terms of my full power, but I would like a long rest, whether that's here or landed.
I am literally just going to work out for 5 hours if left to be rest. I literally cannot get any healthier than I currently am.
Tetsu just looks emotionally defeated and goes, "If you would like to land, we can." Fine.
Add a character real quick
I
just
think
to make
just
this
rest.
rest. Okay, yeah, add a character to make this really, really quick. Like, what it would do for me is it would give me my spell slot back and access to a new spell.
Yeah, I think
Biggest
we're
thing it
fine
would
to
do
it.
for me, yeah, it would give me my resolve points back. But
Are you at
And
full
that's
health?
kind of big for Tetsu.
yeah, it would let me use my last resolve point to get to full health, and then regain the rest of my resolve points to get those back. Because I'm down to 1 right now.
Okay, so you are not currently at full health, but it would let you get you to full health if you long rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dr. Len would get me to full health, and then I would get my resolve points back. Yes.
You'd be
Alright,
totally fresh.
And then you also, Dr. Lin, you want to rest. Let's just rest. Let's just long rest. Let's
Yes.
just do this. Do this.
I have things I can fill the 5 hours with.
This
I have
is side
questions for
mission
Grace.
that we shouldn't even be on, so you might as well long rest, because you guys suck. Okay?
Alright.
All right, let's do it.
Do we want to land in long rest, or do we want to long rest in orbit?
If we
Orbit.
land in long rest, we're not going to get a long rest. We're
Okay.
going to have to kill
Yep.
things.
Yeah, we
and
should
everything.
We're long
stay
resting.
above atmosphere.
Oh
I
my
will
goodness,
set a
storm
course.
spirits.
I will set a course that makes sure that we won't get zapped. I know about storms. I know about, like, flying around them.
If a
I'll make
storm
sure
can
we're
hit
safe.
us outside of atmosphere, that's an impressive storm.
Look, go to Shimensara.
And then I want
Just saying.
Never mind. Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, I forgot what I was gonna say.
This sound pack has the Xbox noise.
Yeah, Len just turned on his Xbox 360. Just don't mind it.
Dr. Len, please stop playing that antique.
To be fair, I thought I heard the
I'm just playing
PlayStation
Halo
noise.
Reach, bro. Shut up.
Call of Duty.
All right, so you are
Halo
taking a
is for
long
noobs.
rest, and then what?
I would like to
We'll
keep.
go down to the planet.
Yeah, then we'll go down. But while we're resting, I want constant pings and like for those that aren't resting, that aren't sleeping or whatever. You know, just keeping an eye out.
Yeah.
Sure.
I
The long
don't need
rest
to
goes
rest.
off.
I'm good.
The long rest goes off without a hitch. You guys aren't pinged by anything.
We go down.
And then,
Down,
all right.
down to that raging storm of lightning.
Thankfully, with Eisen controlling the ship, being a pilot, knowing storms, there are not any checks that really needed to be made. You guys do feel a little turbulence on your descent, like ready to attempt to land. Like you can see the lightning shots going out across the ship and the clouds, and eventually you break the precipice of the clouds and coming down, you're able to enact your thrusters and land in a wide open space. There's no ships. It's not a landing pad. It's not an emergency landing. No real rolls needed to be made. What you do see is a very vast outstretch of just pure gray cratered moon. Just across the entire moon, there's absolutely nothing. It looks like a plateau of nothing but rock solid craters. And then on the coordinates that you're coming to land close to, you begin to see, when you get very close, you begin to see just pieces of building that seem to be cropping up out of the top of the ground. And then finally, when you get really close and you're basically landing, the light hits just perfect to gleam this light off of a 45-degree angle vault door that you see that looks like it's heading down into the ground. And that's where we'll end the session.
Ha.
Time.
All
Come
right.
on.